Now at 10, a new report says the Missouri Department of Education was ready to thank a journalist for uncovering a vulnerability on the Department of Ed website before the governor accused the same journalist of committing a crime. And a Carthage woman is speaking out after being scammed online. And the Better Business Bureau has some tips to avoid the same fate.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Just before Missouri Governor Mike Parsons condemned a St. Louis Post-Dispatch reporter for exposing a state database flaw, records showed the State Department of Elementary and Secondary Education was preparing to thank the reporter for finding the glitch. This is KOIM News at 10. The reporter discovered a flaw on a DESE website that left more than 100,000 Social Security numbers of educators vulnerable to disclosure. The Post-Dispatch reported today that it obtained an October 12th email to Governor Parsons' office from DESE spokeswoman Mallory McGowan containing proposed statements for a news release saying DESE was grateful to the journalist. The quote was not used. Parsons instead accused the journalist of hacking the system and announced a criminal investigation. A Carthage woman is warning others after she fell victim to an online shopping scam. Sandra Hudson says she bought what she thought was an inflatable water slide online, paid $100. But when the package came, it was nothing like she thought she ordered. It was just a small inflatable pool. She contacted the Better Business Bureau to ensure scams like this don't happen to anyone else.
And I had seen the advertisement on Facebook. And like I said, this is what they sent me. And the package, which I finally threw away, it came from an Alejandro out of California, not even the name of the company.
The Better Business Bureau tells us anyone who thinks they may be the victim of an online scam should contact them immediately. The Lawrence County, Missouri prosecutor drops a murder charge against a man accused of killing a woman 33 years ago. Lawrence County Prosecutor Don Trotter dismissed the first-degree murder charge against Lawrence Timmons, who was indicted in 2019 in the killing of Cynthia Smith. The 31-year-old Smith was last seen leaving a bar in Mount Vernon in July of 1988. Her body was found in a cemetery a few miles away, 10 days after she disappeared. The case could be refiled if new evidence is found. Trotter says he dropped the murder charge because witnesses have died and legal changes to requirements for first-degree murder charges would have made prosecuting that case more difficult. The KBI is assisting the Galena, Kansas Police Department in a death investigation. Yesterday, police found 68-year-old Gerald Brewer dead in his home on East 11th Street in Galena. Authorities say it's not immediately clear just how Brewer died. The U.S. Senate tonight passed a stopgap spending bill that avoids a short-term shutdown and funds the federal government through February 18th after leaders diffused a bipartisan standoff over federal vaccine mandates. The measure now goes to President Biden to be signed into law. New York is the 4th state now reporting cases of the new COVID variant Omicron. President Biden today revealed his strategy to help protect Americans from the variant this winter. Deborah Alfarone reports from the White House.
New York officials announced late Thursday 5 cases of the Omicron variant have been detected. 4 New York City residents and 1 person from Long Island.
No cause for alarm.
It was only hours earlier that New York's governor announced health officials were expecting cases to emerge. A vaccinated Minnesota man who tested positive for the variant had recently attended a convention in New York City that drew about 50,000 people.
We have to assume that means there's community spread. We have to assume that means we're going to see a lot more cases.
Colorado officials also announced 1 case, a vaccinated woman who had recently returned from Africa.
She is experiencing mild symptoms and is isolating at home.
New research finds Omicron is about 2.5 times more likely to reinfect someone than the original strain of COVID. Federal health officials predict a surge of cases and deaths this winter. The Biden administration announced today that starting Monday, all international travelers, including Americans and those who are fully vaccinated, will be required to get a COVID test 1 day before coming to the U.S. instead of within 3 days. The president is also extending mask mandates on public transportation, requiring private health insurers to cover the costs of at-home COVID tests, and urging vaccinated Americans to get a booster shot.
If you want to know exactly where to go, text your zip code to 438829 to find where you can get your booster shot now.
The president says he does not believe shutdowns or lockdowns are necessary right now, but the White House says nothing is off the table when it comes to more travel restrictions, including vaccine and testing mandates for domestic flights. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, the White House.
California confirmed its first Omicron case yesterday and a second case today. The EPA today unveiled billions of dollars in new federal water infrastructure funding. The money is from the recent bipartisan infrastructure law. The law provides more than $50 billion to the EPA for improvements in water infrastructure. The agency says it's the single largest investment in water that the federal government has ever made. Officials want states to use the funding to address environmental impacts faced by historically underserved communities. If you thought this was an unusually warm December 2nd, you are correct. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we set record highs for us today. Our normal high is only 52 degrees. We went to 76 during the afternoon. Old record way back in 1970 was 74 degrees. And it looks like we're going to go into the 70s again during the daytime hours tomorrow. Clear skies. Nothing is going on here. We have pretty much clear skies across most of the central plains. We do have a couple weak little waves that are developing that will affect us as we head into the weekend. Temperature is pretty good. Mid 50s. We'll only drop back near 50 a little bit later on tonight. 60 by 9, 67 by noon. A little bit cooler tomorrow, but still fantastic as we go all the way up to about 71 degrees during the afternoon hours. Of course, we're going to look at a strong cold front rolling in for the weekend. All coming up here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Thanks, Doug. A member of the KOAM family who was a beloved pioneer of four-state broadcasting has passed away. Virgil Glenn was known for his skills as a guitar picker and occasional mandolin player on KOAM radio beginning in 1949. He became a performer on KOAM TV beginning in the 1950s, first on the program Circle 7 Jamboree and later as a regular on Melody Matinee until that program went off the air in 1985. Virgil was with KOAM for more than 37 years and continued to perform throughout his life. Virgil Glenn passed away. He was 94. Virgil is featured in a 30-minute documentary produced by KOAM just last year titled Remembering Melody Matinee. You can find a link to that in this story at KOAMnewsnow.com. Virgil was a friend, a gentle soul, and a good man. Virgil Glenn was many things in his life, and that includes a hero. He served in the U.S. Marine Corps in World War II. He was an expert rifleman stationed in both the Pacific and the Atlantic aboard the USS Tucson and USS Philippine Sea. From Greenfield, Missouri and Pittsburgh, Kansas, Marine Private First Class Virgil Glenn was a four-state hero. Up next, should we expect a white Christmas? Doug Heddy's going to have his winter-long forecast.
Well, it's that time of year once again. The winter forecast, we're in December. Of course, a lot of you remember this event. We're looking back at last February when we had those two big snows. You remember those rolling power outages? Could we have this again? Let's check out some stats that we had from last winter. So this is the 2020-2021 winter. We only had two big events. We had 7 inches of snow February 14th, 4 inches of snow on February 17th. But we dropped all the way down to minus 15 on February 16th. That's the second coldest temperature we've ever seen in the month of February. We did end up with 19 inches of snow, but all the other events were pretty small. All right, welcome to the Weather Center. So when we are forecasting, what we do is we look at weather models. And what weather models are, in a sense, are mathematical equations, and they spit out a forecast. The problem is we have so many weather models to look at, and they're not very accurate once we get 7 to 10 days down the road. So how I do the month-long forecast and winter forecasting, I use my pattern, which I've been developing for over 20 years. So we call it the Heddy pattern. It's a unique pattern that sets up each and every September. It lasts for a whole year, And within the pattern, there is a recurring cycle. So last year was a 46-day cycle. This year is a much longer cycle. So once you figure out what the cycle is, if it's 40, if it's 60, if it's 65, you can very accurately forecast long range. And of course, the pattern is influenced by La Nina or El Nino. And of course, this year we are in a La Nina once again. So what are we going to get this winter? Well, we have two main features that we are watching in the heady pattern. One, this is a La Nina. Again, like last winter, this is the part of the pattern we're in right now. The jet stream, fairly weak across the northern Rockies and then dips in, but this keeps all the rain and snow northeast of us. So we're fairly dry. The western third of the country is mainly dry. This is what I call the boring part of the pattern. A drier setup, little systems. We will get a roller coaster ride at temperatures, but we're not going to get any big snows out of this part of the pattern. The second part of the pattern we go into next week, the following week, toward Christmas. The jet stream dips farther southwest, gives us potential for bigger storms across the region. We're going to have a lot of warm temperatures ahead of them, and then we're really going to drop behind them, thunderstorms switching to snow. But again, the potential for much bigger systems. So what systems do we need to watch for? Well, here in about a week and a half, we are going to get a system in the middle of December that will give us mainly rain over to snow. Overall for the winter, I think slightly above precip, slightly above temperatures. November was warm, 3 to 4 Arctic blasts, and I'm going to forecast 15 inches of snow. We averaged 12. I don't think we're going to get a lot of snow, but we have 2 or 3 shots to get a big storm. Not a big one here, mainly rain. Right before Christmas, rain possibly over to snow. The better chance for snow is right after Christmas. That system could be a much bigger system. January is going to be a lot like November, kind of warm. We do have some events in there that could be rain over to snow, but the better shot for a big snow again, moving in late in the month of February. So overall, I don't think it's going to be as bad as last winter, but we are going to get some cold snaps. And we are going to get a pretty strong cold front moving in this weekend. I'll give you those details coming up. Well, we set record highs across the entire 4-state area for us today. Temperatures well into the 70s, mid to upper 70s across the region. Plenty of sunshine. We still have clear skies right now. Great shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Look at our temps. Earlier today, we warmed all the way into the mid 70s, even upper 70s in our western counties. This should not occur in the month of December, but we're going to actually go back into the 70s once again for us tomorrow. We've cooled off. It's not bad. Mid to upper 50s right now. I think we'll drop back near 50 for an overnight low tonight. Southerly winds are going to keep our temperatures up tonight. They're going to be light, 5 to 10, but with that light southerly wind ushering in a little bit warmer air, so our temperatures look pretty good. Clear skies right now, currently outside, sitting at 56. South winds 5 to 10. Relative humidity is at 55%. And we have clear skies. Nothing is going on here. We're going to stay at clear skies tonight. Really, the entire Central Plains look pretty good. Really nothing going on out west. You can see the jet stream, that La Nina pattern in the northern parts of the lower 48. And in return, we just get a big dome of high pressure. Now, we do have some weak little waves, which are going to try to rotate in as we go into the weekend. This will give us a little bit of moisture and some chances for showers. But until this upper level high really breaks down, we're not going to see any huge changes over the next couple days. For us tonight, drop back near 50, pretty much clear skies. We are going to get some clouds in here tomorrow. I think we'll be into the mid 60s by noon, and we should go to about 70 or 71 degrees for a high. So Friday is going to be fantastic. Tomorrow night, clouds continue to increase. Few little showers, few little sprinkles in our southern counties, but I think most of us stay dry. I think most of Saturday stays dry. We start off a little bit cooler into the 40s. As we progress through the day, I do think we'll get into the mid 60s by the time we head into the afternoon. However, during the afternoon, clouds increase. Here comes some showers. This is mainly Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Very hit and miss, not a rain out. Don't cancel any outdoor activities, but we are going to have a few random showers out there. Gets interesting on Sunday. Strong cold front drops in. So this is Sunday evening. We'll be into the 60s, but with the front passing through, we'll drop through the 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, upper 20s. In fact, we may even get some light snow showers in here by the time we head into Sunday night. So Monday is going to be quite a bit cooler. We're going to be into the 40s. We'll start to warm things back up a little bit by Tuesday, and then by next Wednesday and Thursday, right back into the 60s for highs. A little bit of a roller coaster ride. 71 tomorrow, 65 Saturday, 70 on Sunday. Those hit and miss showers, especially Saturday night into Sunday morning. High of only 45 on Monday, 52 on Tuesday, a few more showers. Then we get back into the 60s on Wednesday and Thursday. But the main key here is the pattern is finally starting to pick back up, so it gets a lot more active over the next few weeks.
There are some Christmas events, including some parades this weekend. Prefer not to have the showers on those.
Yeah, at least temperatures are going to be great.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Thanks, Doug. The Neosho, Missouri School District today unveiled a new athletics facility. The Lazy Boy End Zone facility is about 43,000 square feet. The facility is named after Lazy Boy because the company donated $400,000 for the project.
So it will be a locker room and coaching space for our football and our track programs, but it will also give dance, cheer a chance to change during the football season. And then the indoor facility will be available for all of our teams in the off season.
The entire facility cost $5.4 million. Voters approved it through a ballot measure in July of 2020. Salvation Army bell ringers are a holiday season staple, but many local chapters this year are struggling to find volunteers. So the Joplin chapter is willing to pay people to help. The volunteers are preferred since payment does take away from the money raised. Salvation Army uses the money raised during the Red Kettle campaign to fund programs throughout the year. Coming up in sports, Carl Junction hits the floor against Nevada in the championship game of the CJ Classic. And the Missouri Southern men and women host Central Oklahoma for their MIAA conference opener. Those highlights next.
Doug Hetty has earned.
Missouri Southern men and women open up conference play this evening. The women enter tonight's game coming off back-to-back wins. Missouri Southern hits the floor against Central Oklahoma. Lions get the offensive board. Amaya Johns puts it back for 2. Then Lacey Stokes drives to the net. Layup is good plus the foul. 3-point play. Lions have their largest lead of the first half at 16-4. Central Oklahoma the better team in the second quarter, but in quick transition, Caitlin Honeycutt lays it in at the buzzer. 35-32 Lions lead at half. Lane Skiles sinks the triple, extends the Lions lead to a more comfortable 8 points. Fourth quarter, Stokes again. She finishes with a team high 33. That's a record for most by a freshman in school history. 3 straight wins for Missouri Southern, 81-74.
I knew coming in that, there was a lot on my shoulders. They asking me to lead and stuff, and I've done that for the last 4 years of high school, and so I've been prepared to do that. I don't really focus on the outside things. I just do what we need to win, and we just all play hard together and for each other, and that's all that matters.
Of course, Lacey was tremendous tonight as well, but it was just fun to watch our kids compete that hard and have some success that for all their hard work they put in.
The Southern men are 3-3, aiming to get over 500 against UCO. Christian Bundy spins, drops it in for 2. Then Alex Jones from the corner knocks down the 3. Lions within 3. UCO this time, Cam Givens. He gets 3. Lions still trying to catch up. Working for the rebound here, out to Winston Desiso. He sinks it. Missouri Southern comes from behind to win it as time expires, 77-75. At the high school level, the CJ Classic wraps up tonight. The Bulldogs have tallied wins over Neosho and Seneca so far in the tournament. Tonight, Carl Junction hits the floor against Nevada for a shot at the championship. Destiny Burgee from deep knocks down the 3. Bulldogs with an early lead. Second quarter, Abby Heathman, quick release. Tigers working to keep up. And then it's Kylie Scott. She shows her range, sinks the 3 here. Bulldogs up 35-21 in the third. Fourth quarter now, Hallie Shorter from behind the arc. Carl Junction rolls by Nevada 60-41 to win the tournament. The Carthage Lady Tigers Invitational is underway. Webb City opened the tournament with a win on Wednesday. Today, Webb City falls to Sunrise Christian 38-23. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
TV.org.
Okay, so once again, we had a record high for this date on December 2nd in this area. Are we going to make a run at another record tomorrow, Doug?
We'll make a run at it, but I think we'll come up just a little bit short. The record high tomorrow is 73. We're going to go for 71. We're just going to have more clouds tomorrow, so I think that will keep the temperature down just a little bit. Still, temperature is pretty good over the weekend, but we are going to have some hit and miss showers and turning sharply colder by Monday.
Final sports notes.
Really good day for Missouri Southern basketball. The men win an exciting one. The women also win. And then Carl Junction wins their own tournament, the CJ Classic.
Winners all around. We're going to leave you tonight with a look at the Parsons, Kansas Christmas Parade. Thanks for joining us. Let's make it a great tomorrow.